Welcome to the Alexander Blewett III School of Law at the University of Montana. I'm Paul Kurgis, and I am the Dean of the Alexander Blewett III School of Law, and I'm so happy to have all of you here today with us on such a special occasion, and it's a beautiful day and a wonderful day for us to celebrate this new chapter in the history of this incredible law school and university. I want to welcome some special guests and friends, and I hope that I get everybody. I may not. And I'll start with our president, Royce Engstrom, and his wife, Mary. And in the back, we have our provost, Paulette Brown, and we're thrilled to have them, as well as a number of our other university leaders, with us here today to share this moment. We also have with us several members of the Montana Supreme Court. We have Justice James Shea and Justice Beth Baker. Welcome to them. And we have the clerk of court, Ed Smith, who is the longest currently serving elected official in the state of Montana. I learned after talking to him today. Welcome, Ed. I want to give a special and warm welcome to Paulette Brown. We have the president of the American Bar Association with us. She's here in town this week for the state bar meeting and has been gracious enough to come and celebrate this event with us. Welcome, Paulette. And she's joined in the state bar by Mark Parker, who is the outgoing president of the State Bar of Montana. And we also have Bob Carlson, who is just finishing up his term as chair of the House of Delegates of the American Bar Association and is headed for bigger things there as well. So thank you for coming. We have also with us several of our builders of the law school, and I want to recognize Ed Eck, the former dean here. Ed, as most of you know, and I know Ed knows almost everybody in the state, Ed is the one who's primarily responsible for this beautiful building that we have here, and that allows us to hold this kind of event here in such a wonderful space. Ed, we all are deeply grateful. We have a representative of an even older tradition. We have Bill Leapart with us, whose grandfather was dean here for 40 years. Am I right about that? 40 years? And Bill himself, a retired member of the Montana Supreme Court. And welcome, Bill. And our most recent dean is our interim dean, Greg Monroe, who was so instrumental in working with Xander and his family to make this gift a reality. Thank you very much, Greg. And of course, most importantly, I want to extend a warm and gracious welcome to the Blewett family, to Xander and his wife, Andy, to their sons, Drew and Anders, Anders' sister, Susie, and her husband, Mick Taliff, and of course, Xander's mother, Fern. The Blewetts have been such a big part of this law school and this university for many years now, and this just marks another chapter in their dedication to us and their willingness to give back to their community and to their institutions. And I can't say enough how grateful we are to you, Xander. This law school, many of you may not know, but this law school was founded based on a private donation. In 1911, the family of William Dixon, his widow, gave to the University of Montana 500 law books and $2,000. And that was the impetus for the formation of this law school. The charter for the law, or the law school was included in the charter for the university, but nothing had happened on it until Mrs. Dixon gave that initial bequest. And we're still living on that bequest. That fund still exists and it still supports our programs. So private philanthropy has been just an integral part of our success and our mission literally since day one. And it's gifts like Xander's that will allow us to continue to flourish through our next 100 years. So thank you, Xander. And at this point, I would like to welcome President Royce Engstrom.
Thank you, Dean Kurgis. Good afternoon, everybody. What a wonderful place to have a lunch, and Paul, you just dialed in the weather perfectly here. What a beautiful day. You know, I think the new name here looks pretty darn good, don't you? I think so. On behalf of the entire University of Montana campus, I'm pleased to welcome you to this celebration, and a special welcome to you who have come so far to be with us today. I know many of you are right here from Missoula, but many of you are from around the state and beyond the state. President Brown, I'm especially appreciative that you took the time to come out and spend time with the bar here in Montana, and we hope that you enjoy your hike up the M this afternoon. I understand you're going to do. That's kind of a requisite thing to do here at the University of Montana if you're from out of town. I would like to acknowledge a few people in the audience as well. It's my great pleasure to welcome to our ceremony Attorney General Tim Fox, who is a graduate of this fine institution and one of the strongest Grizz supporters around. So Tim, thank you for being here. We had a proud moment last May when the Montana Board of Regents approved the renaming of the School of Law to the Alexander Blewett III School of Law. And we have two of those regents with us, well, one who was actually there and one newer than that. But I do want to introduce to you from Missoula, Regent Fran Albrecht, who was a part of that decision last year. And I'm also especially proud to introduce to you our new student regent, Asa Holman, Regent Asa Holman, who is in the back there. The faculty at the School of Law will recognize Asa as a year one student here. And so good luck, Asa, as you pursue your law education. The School of Law here has such a special place in this university and this state. It's our only law school in the state of Montana, and we're very proud that it is located here at the university. And I learned something new, Paul, of the humble beginnings of that initial philanthropy gift. We're so proud to have the School of Law as an integral part of the university. For me, as president, it's so gratifying to see the work of the students and the faculty and the staff here at the School of Law and the tremendous work that they do year in and year out. I had the pleasure just a few days ago of meeting with the law faculty and having an hour or so of dialogue with them and hearing of their accomplishments and what the students do here, and it just makes me so proud. In fact, I want to congratulate two of those professors, Hillary Wandler and Chuck Willey, who each received awards yesterday for their contributions to the bar here in the state of Montana. I don't know if Hillary and Chuck are here yet. The Alexander Blewett III Law is poised for an era of strength and excellence. They have a large number of young, promising faculty. I was surprised the other day to see how many of them are relatively new, and that makes for such a great opportunity for the future. And I do want you all to join me in welcoming Paul and Melissa to Missoula in his new role as our Dean of the School of Law. He's off to a great start, and I think this may be the first big public thing, and so welcome, Paul. Good luck to you. So for these last 100 years, the graduates of this law school have served society in so many different ways. I'm always struck by how committed our graduates are back to the School of Law, but how equally committed those lawyers in the state of Montana who may not have had the privilege of attending our School of Law, but somewhere else, but they are committed to the School of Law here as well, and the education that we provide to the next generation of attorneys. Xander Blewett, his father Alex before him, and two sons, Anders and Drew, are four of those alumni from this School of Law. They believe in this school and the value of the education that they received here, at UM. As I've gotten to know Xander and Andy, his wife Andy, and their family, I've been impressed by several things about this family. They know where they came from. They know where their roots are, and they're proud of those roots. They believe in the power of public education, and they give back to organizations ranging from the University of Montana, Montana State University, their local high schools, organizations like the Boys and the Girls Club. This is a family that is proud of who they are, and they are proud and moved to give back and help the next generation of people learn and open doors for that next generation. Looking around the plaza here today, there are many friends of Xander's and family friends who traveled distances to be here with them. Those friends growing up together in Great Falls many years ago now gathered here for this celebration. We have with us many members of the bar, and some who have been on the other side of cases of Xander, I understand, but who have come to help us honor them today, the Blewett family, as we celebrate this amazing act of generosity. I understand, Xander, that your first gift that is traceable to the law school was in 1984, a few years after you graduated, and I'm told that it was a $50 gift that became part of the class of 1971 Bob Sullivan Scholarship. And so that was put together by you and members of your graduating class. And of course, they made several other gifts along the way at critical stages, including gifts to the construction of the Hoyt and Blewett courtroom inside, the new office for the Montana Law Review built during this building campaign, and to which his mother Fern, who is here, also made a very large gift. Fern, it's so nice to have you here with us today. And then, of course, a major scholarship gift 2 years ago that we celebrated inside the building that helps undergraduates from Montana State University come here to law school at the University of Montana. And then, of course, this fantastic naming gift that we're here to celebrate, an unprecedented gift not only to the School of Law, but to the University of Montana as well. In my mind, those gifts say so much about the Blewetts and their loyalty to their roots, including this law school, their loyalty to education, legal education. They recognize that education changes lives, and they are great believers in the power of education to change the world as well. They're a hardworking family, and they are a tremendously generous family. We're so proud to have them here with us. And Xander, at this point, I would like to have you come up here and give my personal thanks to you and let you say a few words, if you would, please. Welcome, Xander Blewett.
As the judges say, please be seated. Thank you very much. As many of you know, less than a decade ago, this law school accreditation was in great jeopardy. Dean Eck was the dean, and it wasn't his fault. The problem was a facility problem. And you need to keep in mind, if you lose your accreditation, you lose your law school. So that was a big deal. And as I say, it was a facility problem. We didn't have handicap accessibility. We didn't have enough study rooms. We didn't have enough classroom space. We didn't have on and on and on. And so Dean Eck was very instrumental in rallying the troops and raising some funds and saving the accreditation. Now, we did that through fundraising, and we righted the ship, and within a couple of years, this law school was one of the top small law schools in the Northwest. Now, we are now in a position to change things considerably. We now have a chaired professorship for consumer law. We now have a consumer law protection program, the second in the nation. 242 law schools were second. We have a matching scholarship program now in place that is going to give students an opportunity to go to this school and is going to beget other funding help. And finally, we have the Dean's Discretionary Fund. Now, this fund is for our new dean. I know he's only been here a couple of months. We're not sure what he's going to do, but it's going to be extremely helpful to him because it allows him discretion to do the things that he knows are right. And that's an endowed fund. That means that's there forever, subject to ISIS and things like that. And now, Dean Kurgis presents as a young person, and he's young, but he's not going to be here as long as the discretionary fund. So this is for his successors also. Now, with our premier trial advocacy program at this university, we are going to be able to attract the best and the brightest students, and we will be nationally recognized. And that is our vision. Now, of course, this gift is also on behalf of my lovely, loyal wife of 40 years, Andy. And we both want to thank our esteemed president, Royce Engstrom, for making this gift possible. We simply could not be under better leadership anywhere. So thank you, President Engstrom. Now, we also want to thank 26-year professor and former interim dean, Greg Monroe, for not only his accomplishments over those 26 years, but for his relentless work in getting this gift and putting it together and making it possible. Is Greg here? Up. He's the bastion of the law school. Finally, and maybe more importantly, we want to thank our young, energetic, prestigious law school faculty, which will be able to use this gift to incredibly enhance the legal education of these students, which amount to, on average, 81 students per class. That's 3 times 81. Pretty good. Now, I want to talk to you a moment about the cause of this gift. I'm going to get to the source, but I want to talk to you about the cause. As we all know, public education, especially higher education, is under attack by certain groups. They don't want public education. They want religious-based, private education, which is, in my view, exclusive. And that's not good. This school is a state school. This is a public school. And a public school should be paid for by the public, by the government. But public support for higher education in our state, that is paid by the government, in 1992 was 77%. Nationally, pretty good. And in 2015, it's shrunk to 39%. Unbelievably, that's still pretty good, because a lot of states are way, way worse. But that's bad. Our legislators refuse to fund our institutions of higher education and demand that we fund it through private donations. The cost to the students is simply outrageous, even though this law school has the best cost-effective education anywhere, probably in the world. But this gift will hopefully beget additional help. That's the cause of this gift. Now, on this great day, it's extremely important to Andy and me that you know the source of this gift, the root. Since 1985, I have been representing people who were injured through no fault of their own, and they had a claim against an insurance company, and wouldn't you know it, they wouldn't pay. Now, these folks had no ability to hire a lawyer because they were injured and out of work, and they couldn't. But because of the contingency fee arrangement that we have in the United States of America, they could. I recently reviewed my files over the last 30 years where I've been representing these folks, and my estimate is that we lawyers in my office have improved the lives of over 900 people. And some of them have been improved immeasurably. Now, this is important. This made their lives better, but there was a joker in there. There's a hook. And that is that they had to pay a fee to make their lives better. A fee which cut into their compensation that they were entitled to. And it's that fee that has funded this gift. And it rests solely on their shoulders. And I stress to you that it's not easy or comfortable for these people to enter into the litigation fray. But they courageously did so, and I would like them to be recognized today. Now, we have all heard comments about the little old short guy who gave a bunch of money and they're going to name the law school after him. And it is true that your diploma will now have my name on it. And quite frankly, I'm honored to be linked to you students in that fashion. And I hope that once you learn these litigation skills from this fine law school, that you will be linked to me, someone who has been in courtrooms throughout this state and presenting cases to juries where they were making incredibly important decisions. Now, some of you students are going to say, wow, look at that gift. I'm going to become a trial lawyer, and I'm going to represent injured people just like the Blewetts. And I encourage you to do just that. And after you finish your career and embarked on this journey, part of this link is you can give me a call. If you have a question, give Anders or Drew a call. Of course, if it's a hard question, I would refer you directly to Greg Monroe. Now, all Andy and I ask in return for this gift to the law school is that it spew out many great trial lawyers, some lawyer legislators who like public education, a whole lot of judges, a few United States senators, and one presidency for the United States. Again, all of whom believe in public education. Now, Ralph Waldo Emerson expressed a thought that I thought was pretty cool. I'm going to read it to you. The purpose of life is not just to be happy, it is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, and to have made some difference that you have lived. We Blewetts, that is Andy and Anders and Drew, my 98-year-old mom, Fern, who's perched over here with the beautiful silver hair, my sisters, Susie and Sandy, who unfortunately could not be here, and yours truly. We are all humbled and honored that the law school, this law school, President Engstrom, the UM Foundation Board, and the Board of Regents thought highly enough of me and placed enough trust in me to give the law school my name. And I will do my best to prove their trust was not in vain. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Xander. We are deeply indebted to you, and we will use the trust that you have put in us to make sure that this law school serves its mission for the citizens of the state of Montana. Now, I have one, we have a very small gift that we'd like to give you. And I couldn't help but notice that you're wearing bobcat colors on your tie. And so we wanted to give you something that we thought you could wear perhaps on the golf course next time you're in Bozeman.
This is heresy. Thank you, Dean.
Thank you all again for coming for this wonderful celebration. You see, and every time you talk to Xander, you see the commitment that comes from the heart for him to give back to the community, the commitment he feels for public service. It's inspiring, and it will inspire us all as long as his name is on this building. Thank you again for coming. Enjoy the rest of your day.